Rahui Katane.
E te mana kōrero tēnā koe. Ka huri ki a rātou ngā rangatira kua ngāro ki aitua i tēnei tau. Kaore au i te pirangi ki a māhue atu tētahi, nō reira ko taku kē, he tautoko i ngā poroporaki ki ngā rangatira i hinga i tēnei tau. He tangi atu ki ngā iwi kua pāngia e aitua, i te hunga kua ngāro atu i tēnei tau, haere atu rā. I start this adjournment debate by referring to the memories of our beloved leaders who have left our midst over the term of this Parliament. We are bereft of their existence, but richer for the difference they made to our life. We have always believed that the most important role for the Māori Party is to be the very best advocates that we can. Our legitimacy comes from the voices of the people. Our influence is through the wisdom of their lived experience. And so we come to the end of this 49th Parliament, we paying tribute to all those people who have gifted us with their ideas, who gave feedback by Twitter or Facebook, who attended policy hui, who kept the ahi ka warm. They are the life and soul of our party, and every email, every phone call, every letter is appreciated. The relationship agreement we signed on 16 November 2008 has been upheld, and we are proud that every milestone has been achieved. We believe the Māori Party offers Aotearoa a better way forward. The party continues to show the nation that there is a reasoned path down which we all can walk, that Māori values will enhance and not detract from the aspirations we might hold as a nation. The poll results released just last Sunday provided a resounding confirmation of our decision to sit at the table of government and our determination to do the very best for our people. Over half of the 1,000 people polled between August 19 and September 20 reported that the Māori Party has represented Māori well and accepted that compromise was worthwhile to ensure they had a seat at the cabinet table. This was a massive result which reiterates our political stance that we seek influence with integrity. We seek to be potential driven, to seize every opportunity to advance the aspirations of our people and to consistently represent the independent voice of Māori in politics. Our coalition agreement has brought with it a raft of significant policy gains that have brought resourcing directly into our communities. We achieved an historic reversal of the previous government's decision not to sign the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. And we have been proud to advance Māori activism within government and at the cabinet table. The hallmark of our contribution to the nation over this last 3 years has, of course, been whānau ora, from the constitutional review as well, and from the Marine and Coastal Area Takutai Moana Bill. Our focus has always been to create policies that focus on who we are, where we are heading, and what we can do for ourselves, not what we expect from others. Whānau ora is the ultimate reflection of that commitment to invest in our people. And I'm not just talking about the $164 million appropriated. We now have 25 provider collectives in place, involving 158 health and social service providers nationwide who have been working collaboratively to deliver the innovative approach to engage with families. But most important of all, we have sensed a new faith and confidence in the capacity of our whānau to be self-determining, and that is incredibly rewarding. The constitutional review is the sign of a bold government prepared to open themselves up for debate about what constitutes our national identity. It will be revolutionary for this nation to really engage about what the promise of the treaty holds for our generations and those to come. And I'm greatly looking forward to taking part in this debate in the next Parliament. The third major milestone achievement is the Takutai Moana Bill. And I want to place on record our appreciation to Chris Finlayson for a sterling effort in getting this legislation on the books. I believe that the full extent of this legislation is yet to be realised, but it is certainly hinted at in the purpose of that Act, which says this Act takes account of the intrinsic inherited rights of iwi, hapu and whānau, derived in accordance with tikanga and based on their connection with the foreshore and seabed and on the principle of manaakitanga. We have seen that same respect for tikanga, for kaitiakitanga, for kaupapa influence, many other aspects of the legislative agenda. And I think in particular of the establishment of the new Environment Protection Authority, the work advanced across aquaculture and the groundbreaking reform introduced by my colleague Dr. Peter Sharples into Pai Pai Motuhake, the revitalisation of te reo. Tariana Turia often has a catchphrase that culture counts, and it has been pleasing to see that expressed in the initiative of Tā Tai Ako, cultural competencies for all teachers, the evolution of whare oranga ake in the corrections system, and the $20 million allocated for health innovations. Of course, this term has not been without its challenges, and I will never, to the end of my day, forget the traumatic chaos and crisis that we have endured over this last year in particular. The disaster of the Pike River tragedy will forever shape my memories as MP for Te Taitonga, and the ongoing and tumultuous upheaval associated with the Ōtautahi earthquakes threatened our sense of security. It literally threw our world asunder. But out of the liquefaction arose a remarkable sense of resilience, a courage and community spirit which has moved us all. And I want to acknowledge my co-leaders for enabling me to have the honour of this last address, to bring with me the voices of the unsung heroes of Te Taitonga who have taught Aotearoa so much. The shared Māori sector strategy, coordinated by Ngaitahu, has been inspirational in its breadth, and I place on record my admiration for the way in which iwi throughout the motu came together to support the people. In many respects, this is the whānau order approach in action when our collective passion is galvanised for the greater good. We have, as a party, tried to encourage that spirit of collaboration to focus on our strengths. It can be the blueprint of how we can treat others and still retain our cultural integrity. We have applied that approach to the leadership Tariana has demonstrated in tobacco reform, in increasing tobacco excise, in banning tobacco displays, in confronting the third world diseases of poverty such as rheumatic fever, in the investment in bariatric surgery, and in the installation of over 6,000 homes in low-income areas. We have sought to put our best foot forward, to advance our economic development, to invest over $100 million in Māori education, and to showcase our talents on the Rugby World Cup stage. But perhaps one of the greatest strengths of the Māori Party during the government has been to neutralise and buffer the government against the ACT Party. At every Cabinet committee and Cabinet, at every ministerial meeting and at every caucus, the members of the Māori Party have provided the government with the ability not to be held to ransom by an aggressive right-wing agenda. I'm proud of the policy gains we have been able to achieve for Māori and for New Zealand and the issues we have placed on the table. My colleague Tūrero Flavel brought to the table the Public Works Offer Back of and Compensation for Acquired Land Amendment Bill. Living by our commitment, not one more acre will be taken. I am rapt that other parties have followed my lead in pioneering the call for GST to be removed from food and for a cross-party accord to eliminate child poverty and accelerate well-being. And what we have not achieved now, we will take up on our return. Finally, I thank the amazing people who make our jobs here so easy, from you, Mr. Speaker, to our fabulous dedicated staff, the library team, the Hansard office, the office of the clerk, the table office, the security team, the cleaning staff, Copperfields, the messengers, the telephonists, the people who keep the beehive buzzing, and of course our Prime Minister. And as all of us here know, we would be nothing without our families. The Māori Party's reason for being is to advance every opportunity and aspiration of our whānau. We can do that only because of the endless sacrifice and commitment of our partners, our children and mokopuna, and our last word is to them. Ki mātou taua, paua, tuakana, tuahine, tamaiti mokopuna o mātou whānau, nā rā te mihi aroha, te mihi mahana kia koutou, mō te awhi, mō te tautoko kia mātou te Pāti Māori.
Hone Harawira.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker.